We anticipate that he may say a few words when he arrives there. He's going to visit the memorial that has grown outside of the elementary school in the last week. You know, Phil, on Tuesday afternoon, people started bringing flowers and even pictures of loved ones when they started learning of the many that died that day. And it was very heartbreaking to watch, and your heart just goes out to that community. So great that is so hurting right now. Yeah, absolutely. And then after Mass, that noon Mass, the President and the First Lady will be meeting with victims and survivors from about 1:30 to 5. So that's about 3.5 hours. It's a big chunk of time, but you can imagine there needs to be a lot of time because we're talking about 21 families. We don't know if all of them will be meeting with the President, but there's a lot of families grieving that the President will be meeting with, as well as survivors who may or may not, recount their story to the President. And then after he meets with the survivors and victims, the President and the First Lady will meet with some of the first responders before leaving Uvalde, headed back to San Antonio, and then back to Delaware. And Phil, talking about stories, there's been so many stories that we're learning about now of the heroism of the students and the teachers. Our friends with the Uvalde Leader News had a photo of a teacher after they were evacuating children from the building, and they said that this teacher, Mrs. Deming, was the last one out of her classroom. She made sure all those students got out. We know the two teachers that were killed died protecting the students under their care that day. Absolutely. There you can see the governor, Governor Greg Abbott, is there to greet the President. You can see that is Marine One because you have the presidential seal there just next to the window on the right side. So there's Marine One. That's what you're looking at. There goes the Uvalde mayor, I believe, that just walked by. That is the mayor. Don McLaughlin is there as well. So we know we've got the Uvalde mayor there, Governor Greg Abbott there to greet the President and First Lady as they get ready to get off of Marine One here. This is at Garner Airfield in Uvalde, not very far from Robb Elementary School. Unfortunate circumstances to have the President in your small town, but again, he's here to help with the healing process and to listen to the families that have had their lives upended. Yes. Okay, are we able to check back in with Troy? Okay, well,
hey, Vanessa, I can hear y'all. Yeah, it's a pretty distant vantage point from where we are standing off the side of Garnerfield Road, and as you can see, there's there's a little bit of movement from law enforcement. And again, like you just mentioned, that Governor Greg Abbott has greeted President Biden, and we are, again, like you said, it's an historic moment. The first time that the President has visited. We can actually see a couple motorcycles that are coming down the road right now. So again, just kind of clearing a path right now. Those are some DPS state troopers there that are waiting, and then we can actually see at the corner of FM 1574 and Garnerfield Road, we can see people are standing by and waiting to see if we can get a glimpse. Troy, we're going to cut you off. We're going to cut you off for a moment. No problem. We're going to cut you off for a moment because I know you have you can't really see from where you're located. We've got a good view here. We see the President and First Lady. They've gotten off of Marine One, and now they are being greeted by our elected officials. Greg Abbott is down there. It's hard to see who he is shaking hands with at this very moment, but there's a line of elected officials and authorities there who are talking to the President right now. We live in a divided country, to say the least, and there are a lot of strong words shared between a lot of these people, but this is a moment where they can put their differences aside, at least for the moment, and come together to help this grieving community. It just encompasses the meaning of Uvalde Strong today, Phil. We did also see the mayor of Uvalde, Don McLaughlin, is out there as well. But from what we're looking at right now, we are unsure. It's uncertain who else is there to meet the President there at Garnerfield in Uvalde. It's so hard to say. I think that second gentleman toward the back might be State Senator Roland Gutierrez. It looks like Tony Gonzalez is to the left in the lighter blue jacket. He's, of course, the congressman for Uvalde, the 23rd District of Texas. So that's Congressman Tony Gonzalez talking to the President right now.
And then I believe that is State Senator Roland Gutierrez next to Tony Gonzalez, who would be next to greet the president. Of course, you can see the Uvalde mayor. Well, he just kind of walked out of frame. And then the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, is behind her husband, President Biden. So again, you're taking a live look right now at Garner Field in Uvalde. President Joe Biden arriving in Uvalde to pay his respects and to grieve and to help start the healing process with these families and survivors. Dr. Jill Biden, the First Lady, right behind him.
And I don't know if we still have Troy with us. Wondering about the crowds out there right now. How are they reacting as the president has stepped off Marine One and is now in Uvalde?
Well, Vanessa, I don't think there's much of a reaction at this point. We see some people that are still standing around. I think much of that reaction might come whenever the motorcade makes its way down here. We still see plenty of people that are standing by, waiting with their phones to take pictures and everything. I mentioned earlier, we're seeing some people with American flags that are out here and are grateful that the president is here. But like you had mentioned earlier, some people felt that at this point, what's the point of him being here? Although the press secretary said before that they want to show their support for the Uvalde community going through an unthinkable tragedy right now, as we see some additional law enforcement vehicles are making their way down Garner Field Road here. Just want you to take a moment to listen and see what's going on here.
And again, you're taking a live
first wave. Oh, sorry, Phil.
No, sorry, Troy. So you're taking a live look at the President of the United States. He has just arrived in Uvalde at Garner Airfield. He's getting into a vehicle right now. After getting off of Marine One, he was greeted there by Governor Greg Abbott. We know Mayor Don McLaughlin of Uvalde was there. We know Congressman Tony Gonzalez was there, and that was indeed State Senator Roland Gutierrez, among others, there to greet President Joe Biden and the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, as they arrive here to start what will be a long but much needed day for America. A day of grieving, a day of healing. A lot of people are angry. Again, we've heard mixed reaction. Troy Kless, who's on the scene there at Garner Airfield, has said that he has seen people happy that the president is here. We've heard from some people yesterday on scene that they thought, well, what does it matter at this point? Nothing is going to change. So there's a wide variety of emotions, but it's going to be a long day. The President's Day really is just starting. He will head now to Robb Elementary to pay respects to the lives lost, and he'll see firsthand that massive memorial that just continues to grow.